What is up, guys? It is DPX here. Welcome back to another review, and hey, Happy New Year! Here's to a 2022 that is better than 2021, and here's to 2022 not being 2020 Part 2. Let's pray. Anyways, today I'm reviewing Cobra Kai Season 4. Let's just get right into this. This is a spoiler review. I tried to review it non-spoilery. But again, with shows, it's hard to really do it spoiler-free. So, anyways, before we get started, you know what to do. Should I do? Yeah, I got a bit sick too. Now, before we get started, you know what to do. Be sure to get to know, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell, leave a comment, or I'll show no mercy on you. So, a little background for me when it comes to this show. I fucking love it. I actually, just adore this show. And I don't know why. I watched the first Karate Kid, and then none of the other ones, and then watched this show all, at the beginning of last year, around the time Season 3 came out. I watched all 3 seasons together, and it was just, I got addicted. And I've watched Seasons 1, 2, and 3, I've rewatched it so much that now, all of a sudden, watching a 4th season just doesn't feel right. It just doesn't. But anyways, I was extremely excited for this 4th season. By far my most anticipated season for any show, definitely in a while. So yeah, I loved it. I just want to get that out of the way. I fucking loved this season. What else I'm going to get out of the way is I think this might be the best season. You know, all 4 seasons, or the 3 other seasons at least, are better in different ways, but I feel like overall this season might be the best because it's the most consistent. Aside from the beginning, it's the most focused. You take a bunch of characters who either didn't get much attention or had a little bit of questionable writing, and you do interesting things with them. Of course, bring back Terry Silver. That's not a spoiler. That was in the trailers, and even really implied at the end of Season 3. And you have Daniel and Johnny teaming up. So there's a lot of interesting things going on in this one season, you know. And that's one thing I want. Daniel and Johnny teaming up, I loved it. It's, obviously, this is a spoiler review, okay? So, yeah, they're not really teamed up the whole season. But when they are teamed up, it's bro, what are you seeing here? I love, them being teamed up allows for many unusual interactions between, Miguel and Daniel and Johnny and Sam, and I like their interactions. What I mean is that I'm gonna go over some flaws I had. I said that the show was kind of unfocused at the beginning. It was mainly, for the most part, focused throughout this entire season, but there are some things that it started, some plot lines it started, but then sort of ignored, and then towards the end it kind of picked up on, the stuff with Kenny, the new character, and Anthony LaRusso. I like the fact that we did a little bit more with Anthony, He's just the annoying, spoiled little shit child, and now he's getting some discipline. He's gonna have an arc. It's pretty obvious to see where this is going, but he's gonna have an arc, and this is where his arc started. And I like that. And it's different now how, you have the LaRusso being the bully, and the bullied goes to Cobra Kai, That's almost like what happened with Daniel and Johnny in the first Karate Kid film, but it's the inverse almost. And I thought that was very interesting. Also, characters like Tori in particular, I was kind of on the fence about, because she seems cool and everything, and I understand they tried to make her a little more sympathetic in Season 3, but she just ends up, at the end of the season, of Season 3, I was sort of just sick of her shit, and being this will never be over, LaRusso, you hear me? What's never gonna be over? But in this season, they did a good job of actually making me feel bad for her. When she got fired in that first episode, I felt bad for her, you know? And when she quits her job as that mermaid thing, whatever the fuck, I don't remember what episode that was. It was one of the earlier ones. I felt bad for her. Seeing interactions between Amanda and Tori is something I never really expected. Likewise, I like what they did with Robbie. I didn't quite like what they did with Robbie in the last season. But in this season, I really liked what they did with him. And they gave him a bit of an... it was quite obvious to see a redemption arc coming for Robbie. And he does kind of redeem himself at the end of the season, but not in a way I expected. He kind of, like, owns up to his mistakes. I wasn't expecting him to do that. Hawk is another character I want to talk about. Well, in the last season, he was a bit of an issue because, you know, I like how he turned, and like when he turned, it was definitely a chill-inducing moment when he turned. He had, in wrestling terms, he turned babyface, but it was after he already broke into another person's house and threw a child through a window and threw a glass cup at another child. So, but the show doesn't necessarily forgive him for that. You know, that's something I kind of like imagined would not really just be focused on. And I don't know why. I should have known better, because this show like kind of doesn't forget anything. So I found it really funny how at the beginning, in the first episode, Johnny was like, "All right, Hawk, get up here. Everyone, you're practicing your kicks on Hawk, all right?" And I like the little message with Hawk. You know, he gets his hair destroyed, but you know, the mohawk never defined him. So you know, he's Hawk, but Eli, he's kind of Eli in this, and I like that. Now, to be fair, I'm not encouraging bullying at all, okay? But he does, the whole point of his mohawk was to distract people from his facial deformity. So now not having the mohawk, he kind of leaves himself open to be made fun of for his facial deformity. I'm not encouraging that. I am saying I'm interested to see where that goes, you know, because one thing I noticed, we didn't get too much like school drama, which I guess is a good thing. This season focused a lot on like the tournament, which I really liked. And I gotta talk about Terry Silver. Thomas Ian Griffith returns as Terry Silver, and he's perfect in this role. And my God, I thought Kreese was maniacal in season 3 specifically. In season 4, Terry Silver's on another level. It's interesting to think about how Terry Silver wasn't really like that, like at the beginning of the season. He was just out enjoying his new life, and I like the parallels. Sorry, he said, "I hit rock bottom, but I got back up." It's kind of a contrast to Kreese, who hit rock bottom and was ready to give up. So I like that parallel. I don't think anyone noticed that really. I don't mean to make myself pretend to sound all smart, you know. I'm sure some people did notice that. I haven't heard anyone notice that, though. And one thing I really liked, possibly the biggest strength of this entire season, was how it left the door open for the next season. Now, look, throw Cobra Kai at me, I'll take it, right? And I'll watch whatever Cobra Kai. You can make as many seasons of this as you want, as long as you have a story to tell. And you don't just keep putting out more seasons just so you have more seasons to put out. This season kind of felt... this season screamed finality going into it, because it seemed like, you know, you have Daniel and Johnny teaming up to take out one common enemy, Kreese, and later on Terry Silver in Cobra Kai. if Cobra Kai loses, they leave. And, well, that would be a perfect way to end the series. But the way this ends is by Cobra Kai wins. So that way you continue this series. And even if Cobra Kai didn't win, I feel like with everything else, like everything else in the finale was still the same. Cobra Kai didn't win. I feel like there's still a story you could have done. You see, it's not just that Cobra Kai won that they're continuing the story. Because if that was just the only way to open the door, to leave the door open, that's still a bit of an issue. But the thing is, they made me interested still. And now Daniel is teaming up with Chosen, and now Johnny is off looking for Miguel. That is interesting. And I don't know what to expect. Now this, we thought we knew, I don't know why I did this actually. But we thought we knew where Season 4 was going, and we were wrong. I have no idea where Season 5 is going. Excuse me, sorry about that. And they're done shooting Season 5 too, so I'm certain we'll see Season 5 before we know it. I think we will. But I should go over some issues I have. There's the usual issue with the show, how it's like, do the police just not exist in this show? Like, there are so many instances throughout the entire series, not just this one season, but there are some instances in the season where it's like, call the fucking cops. What are you doing? Like, and this will all be over. And at the end, the cops are called, but kind of for like something that wasn't really, you know what I mean. You're watching a spoiler review, you know exactly what I mean. But like, and I get it. Like, part of the message of this season is like dealing with consequences, but you can still call the cops in some of these instances. Also, I mentioned that the season gets a little unfocused at times, a little bit. But those are my only issues. And the rest of the season was so strong, I don't give a shit. I think this season gets a 9.5 out of 10, but I guess in spirit it's a 10. Because I fucking love this show, and, my favorite things, I don't really give scores. I don't think I should give scores to. So if you want me to be objective about this, probably a 9. But fuck you, I'm giving it a 10. That's my review for Cobra Kai Season 4. I actually will be having a spoiler discussion about this soon. Usually I say that and it never happens, but I have been thinking about doing one for this for a while, and usually when that happens, it does end up happening. So, yeah, but Cobra Kai Season 4, what do you guys think? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Anything about the show, let me know down below. I didn't ask the other things because, if you've listened this far, you have seen it. Anyways, be sure to like this video, come subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye!